Like, so
Tell everybody how excited you are for this. Real quick, what do you think? Worth it? Thor worth it?
it's worth it.
So worth it. Alright. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, just got back. Thor Ragnarok tonight. Let me just say, tonight was so fun. I got to go see this film with my best friend, and it was just such a fantastic time. Seriously. Now I'm going to lay into this film because I got quite a bit to say. I'm going to go non-spoiler beginning, and then I'm going to give my rating of the film, and which, just let you know, we have now changed the rating to out of 5 stars instead of 4 stars because that feels incomplete. And this way it gives me a lot more leeway to rank a film, and I'll probably revise some in the past, but you're here for me to talk about Thor Ragnarok, and we're going to do just that. I'm just going to let you guys know, back away from this so I quit rocking up the set. This was such a fantastic film, seriously. This was so fun. Now, I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of problems with this film having a flowing story. Even though this is getting very positive reviews, Thor Ragnarok, obviously. Um, I know a lot of people, like the first few Twitter quotes I have seen, people are like, the story is not flowing, but you know what? It is really fun, and I have to agree. This is such a super fun film. It's straight up comic book fun. And matter of fact, you can quote me on that right now. Throw up a quote poster, bam. It's straight up comic book fun. Marvel Studios, Disney, Taika Waititi. You can use that all free. Go ahead. Seriously though, this was such a fun film. We're gonna go through what I liked, what I didn't like. Bit of a ramble, but let's just say the cast was obviously fantastic. Chris Hemsworth always nails it as Thor. Whether the film is good or bad, he's the character you like to follow most, obviously. Of course, argument could be made for Tom Hiddleston's Loki, because he always brings it as well, and he was no short of fantastic in this. He had a lot of great moments, especially with the fact that Hulk is in this film. You know, if you watch the Avengers, like, I mean, if you have not seen the Avengers, what's wrong with you? Anyway, I did, by the way, have my own Marvel marathon. Ha, puns. Anyway, yep, did watch Thor, Avengers, Thor: The Dark World, and Avengers: Age of Ultron. Kind of rushed Age of Ultron today. Watched all the other 3 films last night. Age of Ultron's a long film, but you know what? If you're a little bit foggy on Age of Ultron, there's a lot of gags that refer to that last film, so I just go ahead and watch it, and even if it's just for the Thor bits, the Thor and Hulk bits, I just rewatch Age of Ultron because there's a lot of great jokes referencing Age of Ultron, and it is picking up where they left off because we haven't seen Thor or Hulk since Age of Ultron, so obviously we're going to be following the story with them. As I'm talking with the cast, Mark Ruffalo is a fantastic Hulk. He obviously, this is his first time outside of the Avengers, playing the role of Hulk, and Hulk was really fun in this, as we saw in the trailer. He speaks now, and you know he's got a limited vocabulary of a 2-year-old, and it shows, man. He acts like it. It's really hilarious. There are a lot of jokes. Now I know a lot of people may come out of this thinking that the jokes were nonstop, and I was thinking that going in, like, is this going to be nonstop? I mean, I loved all the jokes. I mean, I don't think there were any jokes that didn't really land for me. I know some people laugh at a couple things that I think were supposed to be serious, and I was smiling because the audience is infectious, but you just need to, when you look at it and you like, if you're going to rewatch it at home, you'll see this scene's a bit more heartfelt, and you need to, just listen to it. But that's no problem. Kate Blanchett as the villain, I thought Hela was a very fun villain. I don't know if you would put her at the top as one of the best, but I don't think you would put her at the worst. She was really fun. I'm a huge Kate Blanchett fan. She's fabulous. I love her. She's gorgeous. Big celebrity crush. but I really thought she just like really fun. You know, her goal is to rule Asgard, take it over. Her backstory, I had no idea. While I'm dabble in comics, I have a good knowledge. I'm not 100% deep into everything, so I really didn't know about the character Hela going in, and I don't know if it was true to the comics or not. But if it is, that's really interesting. If not, still this was an interesting twist, I guess you could say, that I didn't see coming. Um, if you saw a certain end credit scene from the 2016 Marvel film, you'll know a certain other character appears in this. If you have not seen that, go go watch it. Go watch a 2016 Marvel film. There's your hint. Look at the end credit scene, and the character pops up, and it was quite a bit of fun. I thought he was gonna throw down, but what he does, it's fun. It adds humor. It's great seeing him again, and you can't wait to see him in Avengers: Infinity War for sure. I mean, dang, we got a lot to talk about in spoilers. Just a lot of great things to have fun with. This is such a bright, colorful film. Like, obviously it's colorful, but it was very bright, man. I saw this in IMAX, and I'm just gonna go ahead and touch on that right now. The IMAX was really cool. You do notice the aspect ratio changes, like how you're seeing me 1920 by 1080. It's probably more like 720 quality at best. Sorry, but you know, this big aspect ratio that fills up your whole screen. That's what IMAX would be. You see the theater screen, it would fill it up. You know how normally movies have the black bars on the top and bottom. It does switch in and out of that because it's IMAX. Select sequences were shot with IMAX, so when it pops up on screen in this full aspect ratio, and then it'll go back to black. It's not disorienting like Transformers. You'll notice it, and it feels kind of weird when you're back in the black because you're so immersed. At least where I was sitting, I like to have a pretty full view of the IMAX screen. You know, like leave a little bit leeway in the top and bottom, like where you would see seats. Excuse me. But make sure you're sitting where you see the huge scope of IMAX, because it's very much worth it, especially with this film. There's a lot of sequences filmed with IMAX and a lot of spectacle, mainly action sequences, but there are also some big shots that just were beautiful. I think this film just looks stunning. It's amazing. I didn't see any problems with CG. I know some people may. You look closely, but I really wasn't looking deep into the CG. I was just immersed and having a lot of fun watching. Um, Obviously, I'm a big Marvel fan. You can see back there, I got my new Guardians of the Galaxy poster hung up. Shout out to my friend Ian for giving me that. Thank you, man. And wearing my Spider-Man shirt, my favorite superhero of all time, of course. So this was really fun to go see. Like I said, this was a fun night. I went to go see with my best friend. We pigged out his treat on concession. It was my treat on tickets. He paid back tenfold. We got just to eat delicious AMC chicken tenders and fries, because that's just, I'm a chicken freak. That's fun fact. But I know we're in the review, but this is more just my experience of the film. So take that as you will. Talking about other things, of course, Heimdall, Odin, many other characters are here. And obviously they do just as good as they do in other films. Valkyrie is a new character that showed up, and she was really fun. I really enjoyed her dynamic with Hulk and with Thor. It was really fun. And Loki, obviously, is a blast. That pretty much touches on characters. Excuse me. A lot to eat. Sorry. Um, but, dude, the music, oh my god, I love this soundtrack. It was like 80s synthesizer type music that you would, like, if it was transferred into an 8-bit NES game, I would love that soundtrack. And even if it's not, I love this soundtrack. It sounds so beautiful. And you know, in the trailer, Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song, um, they use it twice in this film, towards the beginning and towards the end. And both times it got me so jacked up because they're used for action sequences. And, oh my god, I love that song. And it just works so well because they're editing to the music. And if there's a pause, the music will pause while a character like winds up or something, and then when they follow through, the song continues, and it's so cool, and that sounded really great in IMAX. IMAX is also really great for the sound system, so like I can't recommend it enough. Go see it in IMAX. If it's playing in IMAX 3D, I did not get to see it in 3D, like really 3D or anything, so I don't know how the 3D is. I imagine this film looks really good in it if you are a fan of 3D. So if you do like 3D and you normally do see things in 3D, go ahead and do this. But if you can, make your first option IMAX. 3D or not, see this in IMAX. It was so fun. Now there there's just there's so much happening. There's a lot of humor, but there is a serious moments, and overall, as I started with this whole ramble, I'm so sorry. It's just such a fun ride. This is such a fun film. It seriously is. There's 2 end credit scenes, so make sure you stick around for that. The first one is pretty much a setup, leading to, it's your first setup to, hey, the Infinity War is about to start. So there's that, and the end credits is a joke, but I mean it's funny. And if you're thinking, man, I'm not gonna wait around for just a joke, you don't have to. But I mean, if you paid for this and they got more content for you, I think you should just wait it out. If you want to, you can run and pee real quick, if you have to. Like watch the first end credit scene, jolt to the bathroom, and come back and catch the last few minutes of the end credit scene. Because it was funny, man. Jeff Goldblum's in this. I forgot to mention this character, the Grandmaster, and he was really humorous. Stan Lee's cameo was hilarious. There's so much comedy, but it's not without its moments of just take a breath, because it's not like so much humor thrown at you that you're just like, ha ha ha, oh god, can we slow it down? It's not like that, and it's not like that as in there's stuff like it's just not funny. Maybe, I mean, maybe your humor isn't what they were pitching, and I completely understand that, but a lot of the humor, if not all of it, hit for me, and then it does take moments to breathe, and that's very good. The action is fantastic. There's really not much more I can go on about this, so I'm just going to give overall rating. It's tough. It is, because when you're fresh out of a film that you're really hyped on, you tend to want to just give it biggest score you can, and of course later when I think about it, the score changes. Like, I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when I first saw it, and I still do love it, but I did have a lot of issues. Like, that is a film that I think is an example of the humor that goes on and doesn't hit all the time. I felt Thor Ragnarok's humor worked a lot better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2's humor. So I did like Thor Ragnarok better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I believe I gave Guardians 4 stars. Like I said, I gotta revise all of my past review scores. So just take what you will with a grain of salt if you wish, but right now I'm going to say Thor Ragnarok gets, I'm going to give it like a 4.7 out of 5. 4.7 out of 5. So, because while this film isn't 100% perfect, at least not to me, it's pretty close, because like I said, it's not following a big overall huge story that has the biggest emotional impact that you would find in other Marvel films. So for that, I'm not saying it's lacking heart, it just doesn't have as much heart as a lot of other films. It is just a fun thrill ride, fun, straight up comic book fun, as I said. So with that, I'm going to give it that score, and it's a blast, guys. I can't wait to see it again. If you go see it, you'll see why, if you're a big fan of these Marvel films. So make sure you go check it out. That is it on the non-spoiler review, and I am going to go ahead and jump in to spoilers. So without further ado, guys, if you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and that being said, guys, hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always. Okay, if you're going, cool. We're going to talk spoilers, because there's a lot of humorous bits. Biggest thing that stands out is, comes to my mind, is when Hulk is unveiled in the arena and Loki sees him and he's so freaked out, like, I gotta get off this planet. It's just so funny, man. And when Hulk does the same move he did to Loki to Thor, and Loki just stand up like, yeah, how does that feel? Now you know. It's just, that was a very quote, but it was so funny, man. There was so many laugh out loud moments, such good stuff, just such great humor. There are some things that where my example quote of straight up comic book fun comes in was Bruce Banner jumps out of the jet to stop the Hela's wolf, so he turned to the Hulk, and I knew what was gonna happen. It was pretty clear, but it was still hilarious when I saw it, especially with the audience just like so laughing so hard because Bruce Banner lands on the Rainbow Bridge. Him, he face flat, just ow. um, oh my god, it was so funny. He would have died from that. I mean, you could probably make a argument like, well, you know, the Hulk is probably more indestructible, and you know, he can't even shoot himself. True, but the fact that he stayed Bruce Banner, oh my god. You could argue. I think that probably happened because he was confident he was gonna turn the Hulk, so he wasn't worried, and then wham! The wolf just like stops and sniffs him for a second, then keeps going. Then the Hulk grabs him. You know, he's all fine. But why am I putting logic to a joke? It's funny. Okay, let's talk about some major things, such as the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. I was so happy to see him back, dude, because I love Doctor Strange. It was such a fun film. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm such a huge fan of his, for sure. He's perfect casting for Doctor Strange, and like I said, I love the films, and that end credit scene with him and Thor, I was like, yes! It did not play out how I thought it would, because we saw set photos of Odin in, hobo attire, I guess you'd say, you know, homeless attire, with what Thor and Loki were wearing. And there was concept art of Thor and Loki looking up at Hela in an alleyway. So what I thought was going to happen was they're going to get Odin, and then Hela shows up, and Doctor Strange was going to attempt to help Thor and Loki fight her off until they all just got separated through a portal or something. I thought that's what was going to go down, but Anthony Hopkins doesn't even appear wearing homeless attire. He is dressed more casually like a human, but it's in a grassy field. Like you remember, actually, you see it in like the original teaser and even the second trailer when Hela catches Mjolnir and crushes it. They were in an alleyway, but then it was green screen the background into. People have joked like the Windows desktop, which is hilarious, but it's like a stormy grassy field, which I thought was an interesting location because it is showcasing death scene of Odin. Anthony Hopkins does leave his character. He passes away. He reappears to Thor the flashback, but in the end, he just fades away. And yeah, with such a humorous film, I wasn't very emotionally attached to Odin. Granted, that could be chalked up to the fault of the other films because every time I saw Odin, I just always thought, why are you yelling all the time, dude? Like, every time someone has you on the ropes with an argument, you're like, yeah! It's just, I'm king! Shut up! That's pretty much always how he's been. Like, when Thor in the Dark World was like, how many soldiers must die to save Asgard? And he's just like, as many as are needed! It's just, calm down, dude. Just, we get it. Just relax. So Odin kind of annoyed me. You know, when he's speaking very heartfelt to Thor, I always like those scenes. But I always viewed Odin as just the shouty dad who can't take the fact that he's been beaten intellectually in a conversation. So he just yells, because I have authority, cast you out. So I didn't have much of an emotional connection, but I thought Anthony Hopkins' Odin was always really cool. great casting, and see him leave, I think, obviously could have been held a lot better. Well, honestly, this scene was really good. If you are emotionally connected to Odin, but if you're not, like me, then it doesn't really do much. But I do feel for Thor and Loki losing a father, at least for Thor, because Loki was never really for. Okay, so this film starts out. Just gonna go through my favorite beats. This film starts out, as I said, with earlier in the non-spoiler, immigrant song, Led Zeppelin playing while Thor's chained up, and then he breaks away and fights Salter, and it's so good, dude. That is one of my favorite opening sequences to probably any film. And I know that's a big claim, but dude, the song is awesome. The editing to the song was awesome. We used tracking shots on Mjolnir, like a Mjolnir wristband handle point of view or something. It's just, we followed around, and I didn't even know Thor could direct Mjolnir like that. So that was really cool to see for the first time. It's so fun. And he just breaks out, and more and more things are unfolding, but that was a really great intro. It's humorous talking. It's like Thor's narrating, like, who's he talking to? Like, he has to be talking to somebody, not just nobody. And he is talking to nobody and somebody. It's a skeleton, but obviously he's just like been sitting there for a while and bored, so he's just like, 'cause I do that. I just start talking. And I mean, when you're a writer and you write scripts, thinking out loud. That's just what it is. So please don't call me insane. um, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. um, Hela, as I said, was really cool to see. Beautiful. Um, how she goes out fighting Giant Soltor was really cool. The fact that Hulk leaped all the way up to Giant Soltor and started actually beating him around just tells me Hulk had a shot at beating Soltor. Maybe not 100% killing him, but he had a shot of just beating him down. Like, if Thor steps in as well, they could kill Soltor. Yeah, okay, so I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry. If you even care, if you're even watching this, I commend you. Comment if you are, and I will shout you out in the next big reaction I do. So, I'm sorry. And this is so long. I have a slow computer. I cannot edit this out. So just whatever pops in my head is just gonna be said. Asgard gets destroyed. So that's insane. And through all this, you see after Mjolnir is destroyed, Thor has a bit of power surging, like right after Odin dies, and Thor's angry at Loki. You get a quick spark when he's captured by the Grandmaster, quick spark, and then by the end of it, you get full on Lord of Thunder. Just kidding. God of Thunder. It's so cool, man. Thor loses an eye to Hela. He now has an eye patch, which I'm really curious to see how that goes, because in the poster, I can't remember the Infinity War poster they gave out at Comic-Con, which side. I think you see Thor on this side, so his cutout eye. He now has a metal eye patch like Odin. I don't even know if it was metal, but he has an eye patch, one piece, just stuck on there like Odin, which it actually looks really cool on Thor, and I actually dig his short hair. Um, I'm all for Thor's new look. Originally I wasn't. I was like, what is this? This isn't Thor. This is not the God of Thunder. Yeah, it is. I love it. But I wanted to address that if you saw my reaction to the Infinity War leaked footage, or if you have seen it somewhere, you know Thor. Spoilers for Avengers Infinity War, I guess, if you don't want to see this, if it's not in the trailer. Boom, full on spoilers. You do see Thor is drifting in space and is not captured, but he's picked up by the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you see him with both eyes. So I'm wondering if that was just an editing trick, since the movie didn't come out yet, so as to not give away a spoiler. So maybe they just CG'd that, because in the trailer, you see Thor land on the Rainbow Bridge and surging lightning with 2 glowing eyes. In the movie, he has 1 glowing eye and the rest is bloody. It's out. So they could pull that trick, maybe, because you don't see Thor too much. I'm sure it got cleaned up and his eye patch is gone. I don't know how that would work. I don't. It could be editing because you also see a shot of Thanos squeezing Thor's head, both of which you see both of Thor's eyes. I mean, when he's getting his head squeezed, he's tight-eyed, ah! And when he's woken up by the Guardians, he has both eyes. So I think that's probably an editing trick that they do in a lot of these Marvel trailers, which I love that they do. It's really cool that they can. Like Spider-Man not in the Civil War trailer, running with the teams. That's really cool. So I think Thor is going to be missing an eye in Avengers Infinity War. So there's that. Asgard is destroyed. They round up the people, and they're off, heading to Earth. And they have an end credit scene showing Thor and Loki standing on bridge of the ship, or somewhere by a window, and just like, hey, think it's a good idea to go to Earth? Yeah, everybody loves me on Earth, says Thor. Loki's like, yeah, but do you think it's a good idea for me to go? And Thor's just like, well, probably not, but stuff will work itself out. And then, but, you know, it's just going to be smooth sailing from here. And then they run to this gigantic ship. And this is where my comic knowledge is lacking, and I'm going to have to watch an Easter egg video. Because, see, I don't get every Easter egg that's thrown at me. Sometimes I catch some, but not all. So, when it comes down to it, I'm just sorry for the ramble again. I'm not entirely sure whose ship that is. It could be Thanos' ship, if he uses one, probably. It could be Thanos' children, you know, the big leader followers that probably are going to command their own armies, that are going to be like the mini boss battles to get to the big boss in video game lingo. 8-bit soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. So it probably is Thanos. So there's your first big major link to right before Infinity War or something. And I think in Infinity War the ship's gonna attack Thor's ship. It's gonna get away somehow while Thor defends it out in space or something. I don't know if he can breathe in space or not. It's Thor. Yeah, who knows? God of Thunder. So maybe either way, I think he's gonna defend his ship, and they're gonna get away. But Thor's gonna be adrift, and the Guardians find him. Again, another spoiler for the Infinity War footage. Loki has the Tesseract, and in the film you see Loki running through the treasure room, which there's a funny scene where Hela just knocked over the other Infinity Gauntlet that you saw as an Easter egg in the first Thor that was just sitting there. I was like, what is that? There's another one? And it's sitting there with like all jeweled out. I mean, it's dull, it's not glowing, but all the colored jewel pieces are there. And Hela just walks in like, fake! And just knocks it down. Like, okay! I guess that clears up that continuity. Now if you go to watch the first Thor, like, ooh, is the Infinity Gauntlet? Nope. Worthless. But there is the Tesseract. It's there, and Loki, while running by to give life to Surtur, he sees it. And I don't know if he grabbed it or not. I feel like he did. Because you see in the Infinity War footage, he's holding it up. And I don't know if he's giving it to Thanos or something to spare his life, or spare Thor, maybe. Because I feel like there's still a feeling that Loki has for Thor. Maybe, you know, he's very back and forth. But I don't think he really ever wants to see Thor die. He knows Thor can handle himself. So I don't know what, maybe Loki is trying to save his own life to fulfill Thanos' wish, the deliverance of the Tesseract. So it's just all one big mystery. But this is the first Marvel film to say at the end, character will return. It said Thor will return in Avengers Infinity War. This is the first film to say Avengers Infinity War. Other films have said Spider-Man will return. Spider-Man will return again. I think they said that in the second Spider-Man Homecoming. Doctor Strange will return. The Guardians of the Galaxy will return. And this one says Thor will return in Avengers Infinity War. Which is it's so close. It's so cool that it's so close. So And the final end credit scene is the Grandmaster is like, "Good job with the revolution." And dude was funny throughout. Also, really great seeing Sam Neill play Odin in the stage play on Asgard. I don't know if I touched on that, but also they're just reenacting the Thor Ragnarok, or no, the Thor the Dark World Loki death scene as Odin, who's Loki, is watching, and Matt Damon plays Loki. What a funny cameo! And I knew this scene was happening. I watched a Mr. Sunday Movies video, so it wasn't too big of a surprise. But just seeing him, it cracked me up. Also, there was a trailer for a new Matt Damon film playing in front of this, so makes sense. Good to see you in the MCU, man. So, yeah, the Grandmaster at the end, this is hilarious. Like, good job with the Revolution. Obviously, I was a big part of it because without me, there would be none. So, overall, it's a tie. Marvel Studios. So, that was really fun, guys. This film was such a blast. If you actually made it this far, I'm gonna have to just pinpoint the different timestamps and put them in the description and just say from the beginning, hey, timestamps, check this out, hear me talking about this, and I'm just gonna have to run through all this. It's 1 a.m. Try to render this all and get this uploaded by tomorrow, hopefully. This is just gonna be a lot. So guys, make sure you go check out Thor Ragnarok because it is worth it. And matter of fact, if you're just like, if you're not even gonna go, I completely understand. Here, take my ticket. Take this ticket. It's unpulled. For real. I mean, just gotta play with the autofocus and, you know. Bam. There you go. Unpulled child seating that I bought for extra room in IMAX. And glad thing we did because, you know, the seats are pretty cramped. It's the one room not renovated with AMC recliners. It's the old style chairs, which I'm fine with. Other people are like, man, we need them. I'm whatever, but it is great to have that extra space, and with the feast my friend bought from concession, I'm glad we had that spare seat. So, guys, that's it. We're just rambling at this point. So, again, if you enjoyed this review, or if you're just intrigued in seeing me nerd out in future installments, like we still got Justice League in a couple weeks, Star Wars The Last Jedi, double feature of The Force Awakens The Last Jedi. It's going to be amazing, guys, the rest of this year. I'm going to see Murder on the Orient Express on my birthday, so you guys can expect reviews for all those, as well as past reviews I still need to edit, like Dunkirk, oh my god, why is that still there? Blade Runner, still got to do a big Blade Runner review, because I had a whole thing on that. It's a lot, guys. So, if you enjoyed any of this, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and that being said, guys, hope you have a great day. May the force be with you, always.